such bad luck, Sophia!
Samara, looking at films you've made, there's a healthy amount that have kind of intermixed dark comedy with, horror or thriller elements, and Jimmy, for you too. So I'm just kind of curious, is that something you guys like to do as far as seeing what that balance is and kind of how far you can push it one way or the other?
Yeah, definitely. I love making them. It's so much fun, and I think the people that are drawn to making them are really fun too. And the fans are like some of the best fans.
I'm ready to be yours forever.
We're gonna be married?
What, are you having second thoughts?
And Ray, for you, it's like, this is a character who, he's got some issues.
Yeah.
And is that something you discussed with Jimmy as far as, you want to make him menacing, but it's also a lot of dark comedy, and sort of how you kind of figure out where to land on sort of some of those moments with him?
Yeah, that was the big conversation that we had, was how can you start at this point where you have a character that stabs someone and still make him likable and have somewhere to go from that. And I think what we came up with was what you saw, and it was a lot of fun.
JH, put the gun away. What kind of way is that to treat our guests?
For you, Jimmy, when you're kind of coming up with this plot line, do you sort of think about in your mind, okay, this scene's going to get pretty harrowing, but then when you can kind of put in those humorous moments?
Yeah, definitely. That's sort of how I approach every scene. It's like, sometimes to me the comedy is to let the audience exhale. But to me, they're kind of just those moments blended, especially with Ray's performance, where like some lines like, you're hilarious, like I don't know where the jacuzzi is. It's like, it's a funny line, but it's like, oh, he's been here a million times. You know what I mean? So I think that's sort of how I approach it. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to have actors like this and then not want to make it also funny, because it feels like you're sort of, especially with the way that the script was written, like this is that genre of movie where it's like a comedic thriller, and I wouldn't want to just be like, okay, you have to play this dead serious, because that's not what I like either.
Crazy bitch!
Samara, looking at cinematic history, I feel like you have to be up there as far as actors who've been covered in blood and the amount of movies you've been covered in. And this one kind of go light on you. You got some blood. Was there a discussion with your director about how bloody is this character going to get?
No, we didn't have that discussion. I just assume when I sign up for movies like this that at some point I'll be covered in goo. But
We talked about the scream.
oh yeah. Always a scream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really,
Well,
you gotta have the
Gotta
scream.
give us the scream, but
Yeah, but not as much blood.
not as much blood on this one.
You gotta see the face sometimes.
So by now, the best day of my life, and therefore yours, will be fast approaching. I love you so much, Sophia.
Jimmy, what was it about this story that made you decide the 90s was the right setting for it?
I think it just felt right. Like I wanted to place it. I want it to be a time and place where you can, set the audience footing and then sort of forget about it a little bit, and not just lean on the time as a gimmick or anything. So it was like once you get into the house, it's almost like it's timeless in that respect. And also, I just think in the 90s you actually had to, walk up to somebody's house
Right.
to stalk them or find them outside of a concert, or and those things lend themselves, I guess, to film and cinema better than a guy sitting on his Toto being like, zooming in on Instagram photos.
Yeah, modern day version of your character would be extra scary, I think.
Yeah, you just be in bed.
Less exciting.